I would feel so much more comfortable now if I were to go to a client and they said, listen, I need help with this, and actually coaching them, I would have the confidence and say, I can help this person, whereas before, I think it definitely would have been a struggle. So my name is Rio Warner Borg. I'm a mix of being English, my mum's Maltese. I was born in Gozo, so I consider myself quite a mix. Before this, I was a photographer. I'd done quite a few years of freelance. I was a student at MCAS as well, one of the local colleges. Played a lot of sport and that sort of stuff, so I was always into my fitness. I decided to enroll into the EPTI course because I wanted to sort of like better myself in a professional manner in this sort of industry, because you know a bit about it from online research and you know, just like being in the gym, but actually learning about it from a professional sort of standard in the industry and that sort of viewpoint, and from people who have been in the industry, was sort of like where I wanted to sort of put myself. So I chose to go with EPTI because I had heard of other courses, but none of them really stood out to me like EPTI had. There were loads of options on the website, but I also chose EPTI because of people who have been in EPTI courses, and I've never heard anything bad from them. I have had friends who've tried other courses before or after EPTI courses, never really mentioned them compared to the EPTI course. They always banged on about this course, didn't have any worries. I felt pretty knowledgeable about going into it. On the website, it told me everything that I was going to expect, everything that I was going to go into. So I felt pretty prepared. I found the online platform, the online studying, very good. I found it, I had all the resources I needed to. Like, there's so much information, but I'd rather have that option because I was able to, over about 12 to 16 weeks, really sort of go into every single detail of it all. Everything was clear for me. The worksheets, I loved the sort of template of it because it sort of broke it down from pretty easy to complex over a couple of weeks or days for certain topics. I think that helped me process it a bit easier. I think a lot of people will say that they're from my background, where they've stopped education for a couple of years, or they haven't been in education for quite a few years, and you're not really in that mindset. So sort of easing you into it made it a lot easier, and everyone was there. There were numerous people online to actually coach you through it and help you throughout every single step of the way. I always got a response within the same working day or the next working day. I don't think anyone can ever complain about that. What I got told as well, there was plenty of information. I've had courses recently where it's only just one sentence and I don't really know where to go from that. It leaves everything just really vague, whereas I knew what to do, which steps to sort of go on from. And there was a process as well, so it wasn't just like this needs a complete rewrite. It was let's tackle this bit and then we'll move on to the next bit. I found that a lot easier and everyone was really friendly as well. The practical courses have been brilliant. I have been in the gym and I've had friends who aren't as experienced and they say like, listen, how does this work and all that sort of stuff. And you can sort of help, but actually being in a professional environment and knowing the proper way to talk to clients is very different. Helping a friend and then knowing how to slip into that sort of that professional mindset just like that. So that was quite a big sort of like stepping stone there for me. I'd say the most valuable part of the practical training for me was the feedback after, because we'd do quite a lot of work, but we would never go too far without getting feedback, and that just meant if I made a mistake, 15 minutes later I was going to correct it. I think one of the biggest issues is with the tutoring that I've had, or even government education, is they leave it so long that it becomes a habit, whereas here, any habit that was developed was erased pretty quickly, which meant that I would just have a mistake, get over that hurdle, move on to the next one, and just continuously better myself over the 2 weeks. It was intense, but I think it needed to be, because I think you can't learn, especially something like this industry, working in the gym, I don't think you can do it without having that intensity. I don't function super well in classrooms sometimes, so this sort of like practical feedback, practical work, non-stop, just meant I could continuously actually know how it works in the gym. Being there in that sort of, with that perspective, in that moment, put me more of a PT, it put me more in a PT's mind than just being there like studying a book. I'd say my expectation of the course has definitely been met and surpassed actually. I did know that it was going to be good, and every single day just got better and better. And I was just really happy in the course. I constantly had feedback. I was constantly sort of like supervised, but I didn't feel pressured. And I think that helps to meet expectations, and the fact that you constantly getting that good sort of like praise, that all that sort of good stuff. And it just let me grow during the 2 weeks that I was here. So my expectations were definitely met and surpassed. There's so much to learn, so much to get right. Just how to handle clients, how that handling of clients means that you retain clients, how it means that you'd be successful. PT has always interested me, but to actually learn what a personal trainer does, what a personal trainer will do, how they act, how they behave, mannerisms, all that sort of stuff, it just became ingrained in all of us over these 2 weeks. And whether it be the practical or the theory that we learn here, it has helped. I've become much more confident if I were to go and tell people I'm going to go into PT, because I've learned so much more. I think my ability to coach, I think outside of this course I would have been quite shy of coaching. I think this course has definitely given the sort of confidence of coaching. So just knowing how to help people, when to help people, why you're helping them as well. You can notice things in the gym, but it's actually knowing when to help. Even just the words when you're helping somebody, it's nowhere near the same as what you think it is, because what you imagine and then what you actually say and do is totally different when it comes from your head and then goes all the way straight for you to your mouth. I think that's one of the things that this course has definitely bettered me at. I would feel so much more comfortable now if I were to go to a client and they said, listen, I need help with this, and actually coaching them, I would have the confidence and say, I can help this person, whereas before, I think it definitely would have been a struggle. I'm really happy now to have gotten this qualification. I feel that there is a sense of pride, because it was great fun working with great people, and I want to use this. I think that ability, even just starting out part-time to help people, is something that I'll take immense pride in. And then just seeing where it takes me, if I can go into it, I'd be very happy with that. It seems, I mean, the idea of helping people, bettering them, and being on that journey with them, there's a lot of pride to take in that, so I definitely would look forward to doing that.